Hello, everyone. This is Scott Geider. My very special guest tonight is creator-writer Ace Jordan and comic book artist Kirk13 for the pretty cool-looking Grad Night Volume 1. Guys, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you, Kurt?
I'm doing better.
That was like a dead pause. Like, quiet.
I know. Well, I didn't know who was going to answer the question first, and
That's fine.
I don't know.
It's
I just
fine.
didn't want to be a jerk.
Oh, well, I'm a jerk, so it's all right. Kirk, I'm going to talk to you first. You are the artist for this comic, and Ace has brought to my attention quite some time ago, so I knew what was brewing, and now I have an opportunity to interview both of you to promote the Grad Night Volume 1. Kirk, go ahead and give the listeners an idea of where the ideas came from. I mean, obviously, Ace is the creator, but how did you guys get together on forming this duo for the comic book?
Well, once upon a time, Ace was contracting people out to do storyboards for some of his horror movies, and I kind of jumped on that opportunity and sent in a few of them, and crazy enough, he thought they were good enough to use, so we kind of started hooking up that way, and he got an idea that he wanted to turn into a graphic novel rather than a movie this time around, and I guess I was just in the right place at the right time to be asked to submit some ideas, and we just kind of took it from there as it started obviously working for us. So that's the amazing introduction.
Well, I want to tell you something, though. The artwork is fantastic.
Thank you.
It is. I love the style of it. There's a lot of comic books. I'm not really a comic book reader per se, but obviously I'm going to check this out because of the fact of Ace Jordan and now yourself. And Ace, what about you? I mean, I know you are obviously the filmmaker for Kill Devil Hill, which I loved and still love today. Now, how's this going for you now? I mean, as far as teaming up with Kirk, how's this procedure going for you?
Yeah, it's always interesting working with Kirk.
Thank you. I think
When I first set out the ads to try to find a storyboard artist for Silent Retreat, he basically sent me an ad saying that I was an idiot if I didn't hire him. So
yeah,
I like his attitude right off the bat, and his artwork. So
you'd be surprised how far a bad attitude can get you.
It's true. It helps you stand out. If you have a sense of humor, if you're applying for a job and you have a sense of humor, people tend to remember you. So.
I was dead serious when I said I was the best.
Well, I thought it was funny.
That's funny, Kirk. But obviously, you can go to the website. It's gradnightcomic.com, and obviously it tells you what the synopsis is about. But just for sake that people don't have computers, which it's highly unlikely, Kirk, go ahead and give the storyline for this comic book.
Me?
Yeah.
Translate Ace's work? Okay. How to do it in drawing, I guess I can try with words.
It doesn't matter.
From what I can tell, it's about a disgruntled teenager who has every intention of being pretty much the world's worst dude. And, he goes through a lot of things that pretty much every teenager goes through, and he decides to deal with it the wrong way, and plans an ambush at his high school grad night party, which so happens to be in an isolated seaside creepy carnival. Mm-hmm. And, so he prepares in the ways you would expect. He kind of stocks up on arsenals and all your little doodads of destruction, and he gets there, plans are kind of coming into action, and, the one thing he didn't really plan on, which is something I always plan on, is, vampires being, a present element. And turns out, he ends up being in a position of able to choose between being the bad guy he sought out to be or the hero that saves the people he was planning the demise of by battling these vampires. And, it's pretty simple. It's just, a guy and kind of a normal guy going through a terrible time in a really insane element and kind of having the ability and choice to do something about it.
That's pretty cool. And the Ace, now, when you were creating the vampires, now what era were you looking close towards? I mean, more like the 80s version of the vampires, or more present?
Say Twilight.
Oh, pictures.
I'm sorry. Go ahead,
King Edward.
I pictured most of the vampires being turned or transformed during the 80s, and they're still kind of stuck in that time period. But actually, there's vampires in the park from all sorts of different eras, and some of them you have no idea how old they are.
That's always a good question to ask, because you mentioned it. I'm not really a vampire fan. I mean, unless it's a graphic novel type, obviously a comic book, I can deal with it. But when they go to the Twilight, that kind of style vampire, it just makes me gag, because
I'm hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
So I take it you're a Twilight fan?
Hey, Kirk,
Man.
come back. Come on. Seriously. Why are you leaving?
No, I'll stick it out. I don't know. Maybe it's the scenery. I'm not saying it's my favorite thing in the world, but I don't know. I can watch it. I can read it. It's vampires. It's werewolves. Kristen Stewart's not bad to look at.
Yeah. Well, see, coming from my end of it, I'm a movie reviewer, so I kind of like.
So you loved it?
No, I never seen it. My kids did, but I didn't.
Boy, I'm embarrassed.
How's that? But
Can you just use Ace's answers for my own? Whenever you say Ace, say Kirk and edit me out.
But anyways, so how many interviews have you, as far as promoting this, how many interviews have you guys been doing now?
Like legitimate ones?
God, you can get me in trouble.
Sorry.
We've only done a couple so far. I mean, the book was just released on the 21st, so we did a couple pre-release, maybe 2 or 3. We haven't done a whole lot yet. We're kind of working our way up to that.
All right, so it's available to buy on Amazon and iTunes. Is there anywhere else?
It's coming to the Nook store. It's going to be on Google Books. It's going to be on one other one. And actually, if you go to gradnightcomic.com, you can buy a hard copy of it. We have a limited run out right now.
Yeah, so, I mean, what can I say? It looks very cool.
Thanks.
I'm just blown away by the artwork. I mean, I know maybe your intention wasn't to make it 80s.
I did most of that.
Yeah, I mean, I just colored the stick figures pretty much.
But but I grew up in the 80s, obviously, because I'm in my 40s. But that's
I've
what
heard
attracted
of the
me. What's that?
I've heard of the 80s.
Yeah, that's what attracted me to the artwork. Is I don't know what your intention was to make it your own or to make it somewhat of the old style, but it's really eye-popping.
Well, the idea of it kind of was, for me at least, to reflect, like, as Ace Jordan is a, horror movie maker, and this was a really classic near dark type vampire story to me, as far as I was concerned. It had that, that really gritty, dusty, like 70s vibe to it, like, a vintage movie, and so there's a lot of like substitute film grain in that. There's a lot of added accoutrement to make it look like a classic horror movie. At least, like, that's where I was coming from with it, and I'm glad to hear it translated well.
Yeah, it very well did. I mean, all seriousness, from what I showed some friends of mine who are into comics. I mean,
right.
Obviously, that's the ones to really show it
Nerds.
to. Yeah. Well, my friends are nerds, but I don't know about the rest of them. But they really are into it. So, I mean, obviously, they're going to purchase their copies. And
The wall up.
Yeah.
I'm sitting down now. I have to.
You
Gonna
guys are-
pass out.
This is probably going to be one of the most whacked out interviews I've ever done.
That's my fault. I'm sorry about that, man.
No, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, every interview we've had with Kirk wasn't here. It went fine, and now it's just like absolute chaos.
I've messed it up. I messed it up, huh?
Ace. You poor guy.
This is pretty much what our creative relationship is like.
I know.
It's like this phone call.
That's
crazy. Oh, yeah. Man.
That's how it works, though. I mean, I'm proud of what we put out, and the means might be bizarre, but the ends are definitely worth it.
Fantastic. So now, do you have any? So between either one of you can answer this one. What is the outlook of Volume 2?
It's pretty much the bloodiest thing ever made.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. All the Twilight fans who like Book 1 are going to run away when they read Book 2.
Not all of them.
Well, not Kirk.
That's right.
That's hilarious.
All of them except one.
Yep, the guy drawing it. Team Edward.
Team Edward.
I'm sorry. You can edit that out.
I'm going to keep it in. But, yeah. You guys kill me.
Yeah, he won't shut up about that. I hear it almost every day.
You know what? It has a very legitimate story to tell in a very fun environment, okay?
Sorry, I almost thought you were serious.
So did I. I kind of believed what I was saying for a second. That was weird.
Oh, man.
Anybody else have a headache?
Anyways, listeners, if you can get through this interview with all the clowning around, there is a website, like I mentioned earlier. Check out the website. I mean, there's story, photos, video links, contact with the store. All the information's right there. And for all you comic book gurus, and for the non-Twilight fans, you'll definitely like this cartoon. Hey, the birds are chirping.
I know.
It's for crickets.
Can we add that, like those little sound effects?
You know, I'm going to look for it. And every time Ace talks, it's going to be a dog barking.
Just something to cover, like a car that rolls by with a really loud engine, just covers up whatever he's saying. Oh, I would love you forever for that.
Oh, man. I get a kick out of Ace. I really do.
I do, too.
He's a Facebook master, let me tell you what. That boy can type a sentence and a message in Facebook so damn quick. It's amazing.
I know. Tell me about it. I'm sitting there trying to do something. I get 15 messages all of a sudden asking me how the project I'm supposed to be working on is going.
I'm supposed to be working on it? It's funny. Oh, God. The man with the words, I'm supposed to be working on.
All right, can we cut out the words? I mean, I'm taking full advantage of editing capabilities here.
All right.
Oh, I wish he was joking.
I know. Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, God. Anyways, Ace, is there anything else that you want to share with this comedic interview?
Well, I mean, as dark as it is, I think there's some comedy in the comic as well. I think our crazy sense of humor shines through, and when you write something that's dark, you have to have a sense of humor. I also think it's really an alternative for people who like vampires but are tired of all the safe, sparkly crap that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that has become popular in the last
Edward?
5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't talking about Edward. I know that Kirk has a crush on him. So,
all right, it's not Kristen Stewart. It's Ro Pat that kind of has my fancy. But yeah, I totally agree with.
I think that's pretty much everyone. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know. He's just that forehead. But there's definitely a camp value in the way that I've drawn it too. Is the sense of humor that Ace is talking about absolutely comes through, I think, and it's definitely like over the top and you know, kind of tongue in cheek in some parts. And that's how he wrote it. That's how I took it, and that's how I drew it. You know.
Right. Well, go ahead and one of you give the listeners your Facebook page. Spit it out. Facebook /
the comic book Facebook.
Yes. And anything else, any other links you want to spit out there, go right ahead.
Sure. Grad Night Comic is on Facebook at facebook.com/GradNightComic. It's pretty easy to find. And you can look me up at facebook.com/JordanFilm.
Stupendous.
Should I give mine?
You go ahead.
Sorry, I had to think about it for a minute. It's facebook.com/Kirk, Kirk, and 13 spelled out, THI, the rest of it.
And Twilight? Is that on there too?
Yeah. You can probably find that one just by typing in a T in the search bar. It's probably the first thing that comes up.
All right, guys. You know, it's probably one of the most wackiest interviews I've ever done, but
you're welcome.
I love it. It was fun.
I love you too.
Yeah, I love you too.
Well, I'm just glad to be on the show again, and I'm trying to keep up with Kirk, so.
Dude, I can't even keep up with me, man. Don't feel bad. I'm going to have to listen to this to realize what I said.
In case. All right, guys. Well, I wish you all the best. I mean,
thank you.
It was on. You said it would start going on sale on November 21st, right? Do you have any numbers? I mean, I'm not saying that. I mean, is it received pretty good? Or you don't know yet?
It's doing pretty good, but I don't have actual reports yet.
Right.
They kind of trickle in, and sometimes there's a 30-day delay on them. So it's going into another 3 stores that they're still processing and reviewing the files. So
I'll have it posted pretty quickly. 13. That's too long ago. Anyway. Oh my God. All right, guys. Oh, jeez. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for coming on.
All right, man.
And
Thanks for having me.
No problem. And I'll post it on Ace's page and Facebook page and Twitter and all that happy stuff.
Sweet.
Have a good night, man.
Take care, buddy. We'll see you.
Later.
Bye.
All right. Later.
Bye.